on certain evidence. Second method of authority drawback, a petty vendor says he will continue to do his business on his fashion because my family has been doing this way. People tend to stick to a particular point of view. There is no question of his fellow changes his opinion he claimed to know. The third one is method of tenacity. If a newspaper owner say, my newspaper circulation is falling because my stardom is not in a alignment. But a scientific researcher will not tolerate this argument. He would like to investigate. He will start looking into circulation department first, then editorial contents and content ratio. Then he final says, why is its circulation lagging behind? We have to look at research from wider perspective. In communication, we talk about improving human communication behavior. Focus on each element of SMCR model. We know SMCR, sender. Now, who is the sender? We call a journalist as a mirror of a society. A mirror has to be straight and someone has to hold it. It is the owner of the media channel. Research controls the media. Showing too much of violence content may affect on different type of audiences, say children, women, old people, etc. So media houses need to follow some ethics and values. They use media in order to get maximum profits. We as the researchers need to research on such topics like, why is it to have massive entertainment? Do we need entertainment at all? We not only entertainment, we need many things like education, news, etc. No, but these channels are not focusing on those elements. We need to research which direction the content is moving. We see or observe patterns. Then we have the channel, the media. What is the reach penetration, consumer impact? Then at the other end, we have the receiver at different demographic, psychological patterns having different impact. Some people may be hooked to reality TV, soap operas. We see communication or media research use this term frequently. Research could be any of these areas where we can try to add our knowledge and explore facts, what is happening to masses. Why then? Why they don't like this paper and come out with his feelings? He is relying on systematic process. This is called research. In research, we do all these type of things. That is, we blindly we don't go for research. We have a step-by-step process. We need empirical evidence for every observation. Now, what is empirism? For a scientific researcher who adopts scientific methods, the world or reality is something which can be known or probed. It is a noble cause. Research is ultimately aimed at improvement. Research which I undertaken systematically, it is step-by-step process. It may help producer of TV program to decide their decisions. Times it may help in decision making. Research can also focus on accumulation of knowledge. What kind of debate is said? For example, what kind of debate is taken up by media? Is it personality oriented? Where is the debate going on? Thoroughly studying, analyzing the problems, and seeking solutions. Not all research would come with solution. How can communication help in poverty reduction? Find out, diagnose the communication gap first. Example, if there is a diarrhea study, the case arrive at the conclusion. Research is made to seek answers to specific questions. We raise questions at the beginning of the research. What the, uh, for example, how were the children affected by playing games? Ask, ask them questions before we go out and collect information. Now, what is the question? First step in research process is thinking about the topic, then study, analyze, and come up with certain findings. These findings are related to based on questions we are asking in beginning. Example, we launch an advertising campaign and we want to measure the impact at the end of 6 months. We are seeking an answer to a question. It is a purposive. It is an organized inquiry. Example, whether hate speeches have impact on people. We do survey, public opinion survey, gathered with information, then come out with findings. There could be some sections of society who can be influential. It seeks explanation to unexplained phenomena where we are not known early. We take up the issue, come out with the findings, and explain. For example, uh, obesity and television watching. Is there any relationship? We do research on this. What kind of impact on pigeons fashion show have on women? What effect? This we can do research. Why are women carving for size 0? Even we can do this as a research. We find what is the reason behind it. Find out the relationship of fashion accessories and their impact, and why is it happens. We are trying to look at what is happening around us. As a researcher, we try to see this to correct doubtful facts. There can be misconceived facts. We want to clarify our own doubts. We perceive something in particular fashion. How we change our perception. Research is controlled because the research is in total control of the topic. We have control over the method to be adopted, number of people to be introduced in data gathering process. This is done on empirism. For a researcher, the reality of the world is to be known. The reality which the researcher proves the world is knowable. In research, we are examining pre-assumed hypothetical relationship. A hypothesis is an assumption. It is a tentative statement which can be true or cannot be true. As a hypothesis is supposition. We are trying to examine the relationship with assumption. Internet browsing for academic relationship can be done. Obesity with television watching is also, we can do the research. Why do we undertake the research? The progress of human being is based on knowledge. The kind of luxuries, use, technology we have invented is because of knowledge. It is an extension of knowledge. It is said that for every 4 minutes, an article is uploaded on internet. It is adding to knowledge. The knowledge which is generated, knowledge extension through research. It brings to light information. All the problems we have listed out, we are adding light to some phenomena. It establishes generalization. Entire research is process. The process of reasoning is processed out. Relationship between internet usage among children colleges in Hyderabad. We are generalizing based on certain study, verifies and tests existing facts. When we look at history, we have different theories. We had evolution theory, earlier theories are debunked and new theories came up and arrived at a certain facts. If we have to establish facts, we have to undertake research verification of facts. Today, the facts which are established 10 years back does not go through. Now there is something other that has override perceptions, has changed. So every time we want to test certain facts, we have to undergo research. In communication context, we are looking at human behavior. Research does not end. Research becomes a building block for further research. They are constantly refining and coming up with new facts. The earlier adapted facts has been disputed and new facts has been established. When we want to check facts, verify facts, we are looking at improving the efficiency. We are constantly evolving our own rules. New scientific rule diagnosis of problem. We have to sense an opportunity to undertake research. Systemization of knowledge. People are looking at aspects with different phases. What happens to a generation filled with hatred to fellow citizens? What will happen to society? Then there is a deep divisions and society will be fractured. What happens? So we undertake this type of research. On tradition, research is predictable. When we examine any phenomena, we can predict. Now, development of planning research. How can communication aid in development? Because we have a large population which is outside to mainstream media. How can communication plug this gap? Now, coming to objectives of research. A research cannot be arbitrary. People can dispute what we say. There will be a dispute then. So we take scientific research. Science is a systematic, rational approach. Scientific methods can eliminate our drawbacks of arbitrary method. It is a systematic approach. It is a precise and arrives at conclusions based on certain facts which we established after research process. These research is verifiable. Example, study on slums in Hyderabad. The conclusions can be verified since we say it is a scientific research. It can be a systematic procedure. The use of establishing and connecting an event. The theory has to be explicated in the context of research. We have to connect theoretical events or issues. How is research connected to theory? Theory is a set of universally accepted principles and facts which are interrelated. There is a relationship. Theories came up because of investigation. Theories have different components. Building blocks of theories include concepts, assumptions, models, conclusions. The constraints research is continuous to establish these theories. These steps involved assignment of ascertained knowledge, design, research, acquire empirical data, provide an explanation. The use of set of prescribed procedures, establishing and connecting the theoretical knowledge with the research of practical events existing yet universally accepted. When we are talking about characteristics of research, it is purposive. It is rigorous because we have to search and we have a step-by-step process. It is testable. We can test the evidence. It is accurate. If we are adopting the right kind of steps, then the evidence can be verifiable by anyone and can replicate also. Objectivity is where we are detaching ourselves and research process. The subjective elements comes only when we select the topic. The research design which we are going to adopt such that it is going to prove us results, blueprint or action plan. The methodology or sampling procedure we choose, we are making a radical choice in a way we are compelling data. Sometimes research can suffer from subjectivity. How Telangana people are responding to Telangana issues and we are Telangana activists. It suffers also on several other grounds. Social and educational backgrounds, upbringing experiences, etc. This accumulated knowledge tries to come when we research, we have to detach ourselves. Scientific research is objective. How we evaluate, interpret, examining the data. In a generalizing, we can generate objective of research, especially when we do surveys. Example, media habits of arts college students and extend findings to other college students. It is economic and parsimony stingy. That's all, students. Thank you.
Hello? Anybody hearing? Avinash?
Yes, Pradhan.
Okay, Srinivas,
బాగున్నాను.
Okay, very good.
క్లాస్ అయిపోయిందండి?
క్లాస్ స్టార్టింగ్ ఇందాక అయింది. నేను జస్ట్ బయటికి పోయి వచ్చిన మేడం కోస్ట్ శిశిరక మేడం సౌండ్ రావట్లేదు.
అదే చెప్పి మేడం కొంచెం క్లాస్ విన్నా, నేను కొంచెం విన్న తర్వాత దర్శిట్ అన్నది, తర్వాత ఏమో తెలియదు ఇక నాకు.
నేను కూడా విన్నా వినే అంత జేమ్స్ లో పెట్టినా తర్వాత మళ్ళీ మేడం ఎటుపోయింది
ఏమో తెలియదు.
ఇక నంబర్ తీసుకోవాలి అందరికి. మళ్ళీ
నంబర్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, అవే కదా నంబర్ పక్కకు, మన యూజర్ ఐడి నంబర్ కదా,
విత్ 5 సేవ్ చేసి పెట్టుకోవాలి ఫోన్ లో. కాకపోతే
అవునవును, మీటింగ్ ఐడీలు కూడా సేవ్ చేస్తే బాగుంది. వెయిట్ చేద్దాం, సార్ టీచర్ ఏమంటుందో చూద్దాం. ఇంకేమో ఎవరు ఏం కాము ఉన్నదిగా మేడం,
అదే కదా అర్థం కావట్లేదు. ఒకసారి సునీల్ సార్ ఇవ్వాలేమో.
అదే చేయాలి. ఓకే సరే, ఓకే అన్న.
ఓకే బాయ్.
ఓకే బాయ్.
డాక్టర్ అవినాష్.
Sir, good morning.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ అవినాష్.
చెప్పండి.
ఎలా ఉన్నావు?
సార్ బాగున్నా సార్.
ఓకే,
మీరు ఎలా ఉన్నారు?
నేను బాగున్నా.
హలో
హలో,
ఈ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఏంది ఇప్పుడు చెప్పేది మేడం?
రీసెర్చ్.
రీసెర్చేనా?
కమ్యూనికేషన్ రీసెర్చ్ ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్.
ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
బట్ మేడం కూడా ఫోన్ చేయండి, శిశిరక మేడం కూడా ట్రై చేయండి.
హలో
మేడం.
సార్, హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ అయింది కదా అని ఆపేసాను సార్ నేను.
శిశిరక మేడం ఆపేస్తారా?
అవును సార్.
బట్ హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ కాదు మేడం, 10:30 to 11:30, 1 అవర్ కదా.
అవును సార్, ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ కంటిన్యూ చేయాలా సార్? ఇప్పుడు
అవును, 1 అవర్. మీ 1 అవర్ క్లాస్ మీరు కంటిన్యూ చేయాలి కదా. ఎందుకంటే స్టూడెంట్స్ వస్తూ ఉంటారు, పోతా ఉంటారు.
అవును సార్, ఇక్కడ
మీ 1 అవర్ కంటిన్యూ చేసాను సార్, కొద్ది.
అవునా సార్? సరే సార్.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్ 11:30 క్లోజ్ చేయండి.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే.
Hello students. We are discussing on scientific research. How we evaluate, interpret, and examine the data. It is generalizing. We can generalize the object of research, especially when we do surveys. Example, media habits of arts college students and extends the findings to other college students. It is economic and parsimonious stingy. When we are focused on a topic, we have a particular design and a methodology in mind. Empiricism is also a quality of scientific method. It is a predictable nature. It is also cumulative. Depends on and on. Each one is compiling knowledge and there is a knowledge extension taking place. It is a systematic and critical research which is done in public domain unless it is funded. Example, National Channel wants to know how people are responding. This is a funded research. On the contrary, all other research is in public domain. People can access the research and study and see the results. Something which can stand the test of criticism. Any kind of research has to stand scrutiny. If someone wants to test, then it has to stand. It is not mere compilation. That is describing, interpreting a phenomena. Objectivity suffers due to the socio-economic characteristics. Person says anything because of his experience and observation. Our socio-economic background influences the way we think. Value judgments, each one has their own assessment procedures. Complexity and ethical dilemma. Example, we are doing a research of a representation of women in media. People are torn between pressures, complexity of social phenomena. It is a developmental issue. It is a political matter. To achieve a reasonable objective, we have to be patient. Let us say we form an opinion on issue. We review our opinion after a day or so. Don't jump. It is self-constrained. We need to be open-minded, especially when we are doing with complex issues. Example, child bride. Is it a historical issue? Is it a religious issue? It is a political issue. When we prove a problem, focus on different angles. Use of standard concepts. Think about certain standardized terms in our research. Not define the way we want. Use any scientific method. Try to take the help of people, get ideas. Design your questionnaire. The idea is to eliminate the bias. Use of sampling or any method which we choose. Now we go for types of research. Pure research, it is a basic research or fundamental research. Because we refer to textbook, we find research. Pure research undertaken to extend knowledge. It is only for extension of knowledge. Discovering new facts and adding extension of knowledge. Utility is we are getting a different perspective. Second one is applied research. When we undertake research, we come up with certain findings, and these findings will help us to solve certain problems. It is after a thorough grassroots interaction, they come up with schemes and programs. It helps policymakers to evolve policy. It can be policymakers, managers, Audience research cell in Doordarshan undertake this type of research. If we have a problem, we are coming to a solution. A research may look at 2-3 dimensions to come up with multiple roles. Nature of communication research can be pure or applied depending on what kind of problem we like to investigate. Third one is explorative or formulative research, exploring the unexplored. Here, testing whether the idea is worth investigating or not. Example, a patient does not know what is the problem he is facing. Here we explore on self-disclosure, something which you are unfamiliar. We come up with hypothesis. It may be true or false. Fourth one, descriptive research. This is important test. We are painting a picture and describing. This is what a descriptive research is. Example, how are men or women reading online news? How do they read? Who are the people who read Deccan Chronicle? We are describing. Just describe attitudes, feelings, opinion. Request conflicts or near war-like situation. Paint the picture what people feel. Our research can fall into any of these types. Now, fifth one is diagnostic study. Diagnostic is a diagnostic. Diagnosis is a find out to discover something. It is slightly different from descriptive. Diagnosing how many times people text a day. To whom do they text? What do they text? How much are we spending? How many times are we looking at offers? Is it only for a social purpose or business? Try to find out what people are doing. It aims at finding causes, probing how much time they spend. Now, evaluate research. When we undertake PR campaign, we evaluate. Example, smoking is injurious to health. This evaluation. It is one of the applied research. It is made for assessing the effectiveness of social or economic programs implemented, for example, family planning schemes. Now, we go for steps in research process. The word science means systematic method of doing something. Defining a problem, what is it that you want to study? Second one, developing an approach to the problem. Another is it should be qualitative or quantitative. Before we arrive at this approach, remember one thing. We started with the topic. Next thing we do is a review of existing study because we would like to know whether the research is over or somebody has done earlier. There is a review of existing study. Third one is ordinating a research plan. Now, what is a plan? Developing a plan, go out, collect data, sit and analyze the data. When we are doing research, a topic, broad area of your interest, if someone would like to know how did the media try to cover any agitation. First, the discipline, radio, television, magazine. Think about the broad area. Divide into sub-themes, focused or example. In television, reality show, uh, doctor's problem, wellness problem, sub-themes which can be investigated, which cannot. It can be from the perspective of ownership, message, or channel. What would be the criteria? Researchers' components. Is the topic interesting? We should be passionate about what we are doing. Do we have the competence in terms of undertaking the dynamic of topic? The right kind of questions. Do we have knowledge about what the kind of methodology we are going to? Do we have resources where we can at least go and part ourselves? Do we have field investigators who can help us? Research ability, can we do that? Uh, can we do that research? Importance and urgency. Is the problem significant or severe? Is the texting an issue? Habits of people. What do they think? So, to whom do they text? How important it is? Hate speeches. Example. How do they influence people, especially during election period? What are the nature of portrayal of children in movies, TV serials, newspapers, violence in serials, especially in Telugu serials? How do one is plotting? What is the importance of study which we are conducting? Whether it calls for attention urgently, does it needs attention immediately? How do teachers attend the children with disabilities? It is an important study. Novelty or originality, how new and original is the idea? In research, we are unexploring ideas. We are doing something on which research is not done in past. Example, conserve water. Please think about these type of ideas which are normal. Do not copy an idea. Feasibility is to be maintained. Is it feasible? Can you finish the idea within the time span? Do we have resources and money? Are we going that much time? Do we have that much time to do? Because it is time bonding. Research is time bonding. So in limited time, can we do the research? Are we prepared to meet the deadlines? Whenever we are thinking about a topic, we should also realize that there should be a method to investigate the topic. There should be a scientifically acceptable method. It can be a survey, experiment. We need to have an action plan. How are we going to answer these questions? Now, social validity. Not all topics which we undertaken may have socially relevant. If we are doing upright research, we should be a pointer to the society. It has the same utility. At least some utility should be there. Think about topics which can be of use to the society. We will be appreciated about the topic. They, they should be not be narrow or too broad in nature. Example, we would like to do a study on media tools which are used in a distance education programs. One university or more. What kind of aids do we like? Study the impact of tools, this education problem. of learners. Who are the learners? In research, we have to narrow down how to do research. Are we going to cover all the undergraduate students in India or in Delhi or nearby? Do we have time? So we can say learners in and around Delhi, we are trying to make this study manageable, not too broad or not too narrow. Can it be investigated? Can we investigate how death news is received by people in the prison? It can be investigated. Take permission. Talk to DGs. Study on Arabic study. This is an example. We need to have an investigator if we do not know Arabic. Can the data be subjected to analysis, whether it is numerative or qualitative, to whether we can make some meaning out data even in first stage of research? Can we generalize? If there are 270 lakh people in Andhra Pradesh or Telangana, and we are taking 700 people, then it is very small sample. It cannot be taken. If the size of the sample is optimum, it can be taken. Time constraints, use the plan appropriate approximately. Thank you, students. Next class, we will continue. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.